One of the most prominent debates in the country is over gun control. Who can own guns, who can carry guns, and what kind of guns can be carried. That debate has traveled as far as the classroom here in Texas, where the Texas Protection of Children Act was passed. If they so desire, school districts in the state of Texas can appoint school marshals. TASB's policy on this law is that while state and federal government gives school districts broad discretion to authorize the possession of firearms and other weapons on school premises, granting such authority brings a host of practical concerns, including safety and liability. Although a school district has no legal liability for failing to protect students against the violent acts of a third-party school shooter, a school district that adopts a policy or practice that introduces risk into the school environment may increase its exposure to federal liability. Several districts in Texas have implemented a school marshal policy, including Argyle ISD. I spoke with their school resource office on Argyle's policy on choosing and training school marshals.
What we have is a very selective process to choose and train and arm staff members. And part of that process is a nomination from the campus leadership, generally the principal, to me. And so they will nominate that person to me, and I'll nominate that person to the superintendent. They go through an interview process with us as well, so we make sure that they have the right motivation for doing it, they have the right mentality, we have an idea of what their background is as far as using a weapon and carrying a weapon. And then each one of them has to also go through a psychological evaluation, which is roughly the same as the evaluation that any police officer would have to go through before they're hired onto an agency.
Besides Texas, according to the Council of State Governments Justice Center, 7 states have laws pertaining to the arming of school faculty and staff. These states include Alabama, Arkansas, Kansas, Oklahoma, South Dakota, Tennessee, and Texas. However, not everyone in Texas is a fan of the Texas Protection of Children Act. Stephenville ISD has not created any school marshals, for example. Here is Stephenville Superintendent Matt Underwood with why implementing a school marshal is so difficult.
Arming teachers is, first of all, the availability of the weapon. And yes, there are some precautions that you can take as far as locking it up and piece, but by the time you get to the actual lock piece with a key, with other students around, now you could actually provide a weapon to a student. And so that from an administrator's standpoint, that's the scariest piece of the whole teacher concealed or unconcealed carry.
There are many advantages and disadvantages of the Texas Protection of Children Act. Clearly, the debate on school marshals is far from being over.